Every studio has its own stories, quiet tales hidden and woven into the space, the artist's tools and materials, and the dreams and visions that inhabited it. A studio, then, is a kind of a dream house, filled not just with objects and tools, but with endless possibilities. When the space feels alive, creativity flows. It is as if the room itself begins to whisper ideas. I have always loved observing artistic spaces and studios, yet every workspace, even an ordinary kitchen, reveals much about its head chief and is an inspiring place to be. Our surroundings are silent storytellers. They reflect what we dream of becoming. Gaston Bachelard, a French philosopher of science and imagination, says, "Every dwelling is a cradle of dreams. The space we inhabited becomes an image of our inner world." So, our spaces reflect what we long for. They hold our poses, our wonder, our quiet attempt to create something beautiful. So here begins my little studio journey, part inspiration, part transformation. But first, I'll just quickly let those who may not have seen that my autumn workshop Glowing Pumpkin is active until mid-December and then it's closed. You can make your own autumn glowing decor, and I'll leave all the details in the description of the video here. The process is simple and exciting. We are creating and learning spun cotton technique applied on this seasonal decor. It only takes some patience and bit of time, as every beautiful thing in life. These pumpkins also fit into this series and don't have to be just part of the autumn days. So let's create a spaces and corners that feels live. Sometimes the smallest changes bring the greatest transformations. Now, every so often, something ordinary asks to become something more. This time, it was a teapot that wanted wings, and I didn't argue. A teapot with a fluttering wings, a mouse excited enough to fly, and a gentle beginning of something new. I will work here in a spun cotton again. Spun cotton is old technique that is associated with the Victorian era, as that is when it originated. The materials and tools are pretty simple, and in a nutshell, it all comes down to gluing pieces of cotton batting around a base using brush and a glue. As you can see, we are creating a 3D painting and we'll need a frame without glass. This is a perfect opportunity to use a frame whose glass is broken or that is just sitting in a corner waiting for better days. I'll be using regular cotton wool from the store that can be found anywhere, cornstarch glue, wood glue, a bit of soft wire, aluminum foil and acrylic paints. I'll be working on a pressed cardboard, though plywood works too. In the end, I'll use some silicone glue. I'll be needing some brushes, water and a bit of quiet time, and that's pretty much all we need. I didn't intend for this part to be a detailed tutorial, even though most of the steps can be seen in the video. A picture is worth 1,000 words. I'm talking about this technique and specific details throughout my other videos, so you can pick other simpler projects if you never try spun cotton technique before. And on this channel you can find a detailed overview of glues that I recommend for spun cotton, as well as the examples where everything is applied and explained in great detail. Now I'm separating thinner layers of cotton and generously coating them with cornstarch glue. They will become the butterfly wings. Now, I have to admit that I made a mistake here. I could have used much more foil to achieve even more volume for the teapot body, and later I had to compensate with cotton, which is not ideal. Every time I demonstrate something, I always like to emphasize this for those who are just starting out. The first layers never look good right away. It is important to go back at least once and often several times to refine the form after the drying sessions. If anyone is wondering how to achieve the smoothest possible surface, this is the answer. I attach the teapot's legs at the very end once the body is dry using wood glue, and it is best to use some softer wire for this. I'm working with acrylic paints the whole time here, but I add a lot of water which creates effects similar to those of watercolor. The hardest decision here was to choose my favorite butterfly. It turns out I like the most the small white butterfly, the one often seen fluttering above lavender flowers. Once everything is dry, apply a single layer of white over everything and paint the sky or starry night, the sun or clouds, rooftops, whatever. I choose soft bright tones because the format is small. Originally, I imagined strong contrast, a dark background with a bright teapot and a white mouse, but the format led me in a different direction and I don't regret it. Now, I know for sure that this little mousie is a true heart stealer, and many will be curious about her creation. I promise I will make a special video dedicated to a sweet little mouse. I made the base for this one from a bit of foil and wire, just like I showed in my video here about molds. I will link it here above. And I add the ears from cotton fabric and attach them with wood glue, then build up the rest of the form by layering cotton. I worked on this little mousie in 3 stages, returning each time after the previous layer had dried. For the final layers on the little mouse, you can use a finer cotton option such as raw cotton fiber or cotton slivers, but it's absolutely not necessary. Now that she's been brought to life with color, she seems pretty lively and full of character. She keeps me company right here by my desk, and it's such a dear little sight whenever my thoughts wander. Somehow, she always brings me back to happy mood. And this was first episode of Studio Tales. A little journal about creativity, spaces, and surroundings that breathe with magic and a little wonder. I am preparing various things related to this theme and my studio, which I want to make more charming and inviting. Thank you so much for watching, and if you love little stories like this, I hope you'll stay for the next studio tale. Until next time, may your days hold small wings too.